Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M10 Wolverine. It's a Tier 5 American turreted tank destroyer. This one's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of Sunshinebilly. And you may notice he's got 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of his 76mm gun. I know that's the 76mm, mainly because it's got the muzzle brake at the end. And it's not the 3-inch or the 105mm. Game on. Now basically this is the hull of an M4 but with a different turret and less armour. The M10 was kind of a stopgap after the Americans built or designed the T-67 and they were well on their way to getting the M18. They built this so they could have fast moving tank destroyers, could actually take out the enemy tanks rather, and they had production lines producing M6s, M4s, so they just took the M4 hulls without the armour, because it's only got basically 12.75mm, well, not completely 12.75. It's got less armour. It's the hull armour is 38.7 at the front, was it 38.1 at the front, and the rest of the tank is 19.1mm. It's basically very lightly armoured indeed. In fact, that T28 just shot us in the rear. Now most M10s, there were 6,706 of them, were actually armed with the 3-inch gun, not the 76mm. That came in later during the war, and a few were armed with a 105mm, but very few indeed. It was designed in 1942. Panzer IV Aslains H in the village. Designed in 1942, they started producing them in 1942, 1943. As I said, they built 6,706 of them. Some of them actually stayed in the United States. The ones which actually had a different engine, because of course they didn't build them all with the same engine. The traditional ones had the General Motors 6046 twin diesel engine, and that was an interesting engine because it was actually in a kind of U-shaped, connected to a central crankshaft, and it meant that they could disconnect one side of the engine and still be able to turn over the engine and keep it moving. They did also build some with the Wright Continental engine, I believe. Oh, nice shot on the Matilda. Now the 76mm gun, which he's firing at the moment, is a later development during the war. It's the high velocity gun designed to take out German tanks. It's capable of 115 alpha, and it'll penetrate through 128mm of armor with standard ammo, and it goes through 177mm with the premium ammo, the APCR. He's also carrying a few HE rounds which will do 165, or is it 185 alpha, but they don't penetrate through much armor, only 38mm, which is pretty low really. Got a nice round into the rear of the Leopard, tried to get the second one in. Standard reload time by the book is 3.07 seconds, so you can see the loader is just shoveling those shells in as fast as he can. And remember, because these are the 76mm gun, the high velocity gun, these are quite big shells. They're huge shells actually, compared to the standard 75mm that went on most of the Shermans, which are quite small guns, small shells rather. These ones are much bigger, much longer, so your loader has to be a real athlete to shovel those shells into the breach as quickly as he can. Didn't hit him, but he did hit him. Oh, he's taking fire now, so he needs to pull back. It's a Tier 5 game with, I think, Tier 4 tanks in it. And he just got hit by a couple on top of the hill, so he's decided to pull back because he's low on hit points now. He can wait here at the bottom. If the enemy comes over the hill, then he'll start hitting them. But that he's got a couple of teammates there who've gone down into the water in that little dip, And that's not very helpful because they could easily be picked off from on top of the hill. In fact, the Panzer T-25 is coming over the hill, but he's a one-shot, so the moment he pops up, he will be taken out. I think he stopped to take out the Type 95 and the AMX-40, and they took out him instead. Matilda got him, actually, from the railway crossing. Now, the British even bought some of the M10s, and in fact, it was the British who actually named it the Wolverine, because the Americans were still calling it the M10 as such. But the British actually had a different idea for the M10. What they did instead was take off the turret with the 76mm gun, and they fitted the 17-pounder on it in a slightly modified turret, and that was called the Achilles. And that was a very efficient tank killer because it could actually take out Tiger tanks. Well, they're one tank down on the enemy at the moment, and still nobody has control of the hill. That bathtub is sitting behind our bathtub, who parked himself in such a way as to give the enemy a easy place to hide behind. He's asked for artillery support. Unfortunately, there's no artillery in this game. I think actually he's asking for his teammates to fire at him. I'm not sure if the Matilda can see him from the railway crossing. They might be able to get a shot on this guy, the M8A1 Scott. Yep, gets one into him. No, as I said, they did actually manufacture some M10s that actually stayed in the United States. Those are the M10A1s, and they were armed, or actually had the Ford G8 V8 engine instead of the standard Detroit or General Motors 6046 twin diesel. There were so many of these vehicles left over after the end of the war that a lot of them ended up in other nations' armory, especially they were used in Korea as well. Nice shot. It's his third kill. Oh, fourth kill! Nicely done. Yeah, they certainly got around these tanks, and one of the good things about them was that it carried a very big gun, a very big punch, and was, well, reasonably fast, 48 kilometers an hour top speed. But the thing is that it didn't have much in the way of armor. That's why you see those studs on the outside of the vehicle. Those were put onto the vehicle for the crews to put applique armor. That's an extra sheet of armor to go over the top of the actual hull armor, and that would have created a spaced armor arrangement which would have given the tanks a lot more protection. I think a lot of crews tended to actually put loads of stuff on the outside of their tank, and he gets another kill. That's his fifth. They put a load of bags and everything over the outside anyway, and all loads of stuff that actually increased the armour of the vehicle regardless. Another shot on the Matilda. He didn't get the kill. That went to our Stug 3 Aslains. He's over the other side of the battlefield. There's only 2 enemies left. I think now's the time to go across the hill. There's only 2 enemies left. One's a T6 medium, just seeing the other side of the hill, and the other one's an M8A1. I'm not sure. I think the other members of the team know that now, and some of them are starting to move into enemy territory, especially that VK3001H, who realises that there's nobody left to stop him moving forward. And there's the T6. Oh, that's a Top Gun. That was an incredible shot because it was at such an angle. I thought it was going to bounce off the side of the vehicle. As you know, the T6 medium was basically the first M4 as such that was put together. There's one at the Tank Museum in Bovingdon. They call it the first M4. Well, in fact, actually, it was the second one because it was named Michael after, I think it was Michael Carden, the guy who actually was on the British mission to the United States, and they put a plaque on the side of it saying Michael. And the American one, we don't know where that went. The first M4, but we know where the second one is because that one will be preserved forever. But basically, yes, as I said, this is an M4 hull, just without the armour. Okay, well those guys are taking damage, so the M8A1 on the enemy team must be over on the west side of the map, and he's sitting in the trees watching for any of our guys to go towards the cap area. Sunshine Billy's got 6 kills, so he's got his top gun. He's got 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he might have a high caliber. And there's the M8A1, he's been spotted. Now, go for it. Try and get the kill. First shot misses. Second one tracks him. Oh, he picks up the damage assist off that. Must have got the damage assist because I think he was the one who tracked him. I'm not sure. But that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle result, and that was an ace tanker game for Sunshine Billy in the M10 Wolverine. He got a Viper effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. And that last one was a real good one because he didn't have much to work with, and I thought the shell would have bounced off the side, so I probably wouldn't have taken it, but he did, and it did go through. It did penetrate the T6 medium and take him out of the game. Let's have a look at the win 8. That was 15,075, very high Super Unicum standard for an M10. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see there were a number of bots in the game because there's a reduced numbers showing here. 2,659 hit points of damage for Sunshine Billy. The next highest damage was the VK3001H, 2,437. And the third highest damage was the enemy Matilda, who picked up a Leather Slaves medal and 1,345. He's tier 4, so he was taking out tier 5 tanks. When it came to kills, it's Sunshine Billy again with 6 kills. 4 kills went to the VK3001H, and the Matilda managed to get 3. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,229 to Sunshine Billy, 1,213 went to the VK3001H, and the next high scorer was the M4A1 on his team, who picked up a Confederate and 646 base experience points. He fired 42 rounds in that game, got 28 direct hits and 25 penetrations, damage of 2,659 hit points, of which 1,365 were at long range, so half of his shots were at long range into the village, and that's where he was getting a lot of his kills. 4 hits received, 3 penetrations, 1 non-penetrations. Yeah, he got hit by a lot of shells all at the same time, which forced him to pull back down the hill in anticipation of an enemy assault. But they didn't come. They just basically stopped where they were, and I think that's where they lost momentum. I think it may have been down to the fact that they were losing tanks hand over fist at that point. And he also blocked damage of 55 hit points, spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6, and 758 hit points of spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 47,237 credits, got 80,000 for completing a mission, 127,237 credits altogether, and after repairs and ammunition resupply, and yes, he did fire some premium ammo in that game, 75,611 credits altogether profit. 1,843 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 3,687 experience points altogether. Yes, this game took place fairly recently, actually, only a couple of days ago, but and the reason I'm doing it now is because it's basically just one single video, one single replay for a video, and I'm desperate to get some replays up in time. I've been trying to fix the problem with the old video quality. And some people have actually pointed out to me, YouTube do take a lot of time to process the HD quality video. Some of the videos are coming out slightly fuzzy to start with when they're first seen, but a few or hours later, after they've been published, they get a bit better and the quality goes back up to 4K HD. Still not as high quality as the videos produced by Just for Lols. He was absolutely fantastic, always tip-top quality on all of his files. I think he was uploading in the correct codecs, he was actually getting HD every time. But maybe I'll be able to get there eventually. I just need to buy the right video editor to render the files in the right format. But even so, this was a great game, and Sunshine Billy just sat up on top of the hill and plinked the lot of them, and it worked very well. So well done to Sunshine Billy. If you enjoyed this video, or this replay, Please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And do remember, please let other people know that this channel exists and that we've got a sister channel called The General where you can watch replays without any commentary whatsoever. Yes, they're very quick and easy for me to actually generate those videos. They just take a hell of a long time to upload, I'm afraid. My computer is virtually permanently uploading. I rarely turn my computer off now. In fact, actually, I think it's on virtually 24/7. And that means that it's always doing something. It's either uploading to YouTube or it's uploading to Rumble, or, well, it's working on something. Anyway, yes, please do let other people know that we've got that channel called The General, because there's some really fantastic games on that channel. Thanks for watching.